Welcome, couple movie watchers, fans out there. It's time for another great weekend of box office movies. We got Top Gun still holding strong, Crimes of the Future, and more. Are you ready to get into it?
Yep,
Are you ready to talk about these top 10 movies and how much money they made?
let's do it.
Let's do it. Coming in at number 10, we have.
Crimes of the Future.
Now, this movie made $1.1 million in its 3-day box office. It's not too great, but it's a David Cronenberg's film, kinky dystopian surgery movie.
Mm,
Now, if you're not familiar with David's movies, he did The Fly, Videodrome, Scanners. So he did a lot of those, sci-fi movies in like the late 80s, 90s. So he's been doing movies like this for a while.
mm,
He's hit or miss, but he's definitely an interesting director when you look at his body of work. So some of his
interesting.
stuff I like, some of it I don't. The Fly is probably one of his bigger ones that people might have heard of, and it has a 78 score from critics and a 45 from the people. So this does not seem like one of his best bodies of work.
Mm.
Next up at number 9, let the people know what it is.
The Lost City.
The Lost City brought in $1.38 million, which is only a dip of 34%, which is even more amazing is it is playing on Paramount Plus at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
We recently seen this movie. We really enjoyed it on Paramount Plus. I am
Mm.
shocked that people are going to the movie theater to still see this, especially when you got other great films like Top Gun, Maverick, and you have films such as Doctor Strange and the Multiverse, Everything All at Once, that are playing exclusively at movie theaters. But it just shows you the power of Sandra Bullock,
Mm-hmm.
um, Channing Tatum, and Brad Pitt. In total, this movie made $104 million in 11 weeks, which is really good, especially when you look at its holding power in 11 weeks at the box office. And it's been on streaming now for a while. Coming in
Mm-hmm.
at number 8, what do we have?
Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
That's right. Sonic is still up in there. And this is actually another one on streaming as well. You can stay home and watch
Yeah,
this depending on what service you have. But
it's a good
no,
movie.
it is a good movie. Would you like better, Sonic 2 or The Lost City?
I like both of them. They're both different. They have Indian characters, so it's cool.
Yeah, they're both pretty good. This one did $1.7 million, a drop of 30% from the previous weekend. In total, it made $188 million in 9 weeks. So it's definitely killing The Lost City at the box office. But surprisingly, this is already on streaming as well. And they're both still holding up in the top 10, which is really good for both of these films.
Mm-hmm.
But I think also that's a contributing factor because they're not on Netflix and they're not on HBO Max. I feel like those have a bigger audience than the
Mm.
other ones. I don't think a lot of people go to Paramount Plus or Hulu or whatnot to go see their films.
Mm-hmm.
I think people do, but it's not the same. Next up, at number 7, we have
I don't know, Vikram?
Vikram. It is a Indian film.
Mm.
We've always been seeing like a lot of these films pop up from time to time in the top 10. It made $1.7 million. This Vikram centers around Amir, a policeman who is deployed for a secret assignment.
Mm.
Um,
Mystery?
I guess so. It does have a Rotten Tomato has a 98 audience score. This movie did really well in New York, LA, Dallas, San Francisco, Boston,
Mm.
DC, and Atlanta and Detroit. So those were the hot markets for this movie here.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I believe those are more, you know, has a higher Indian population, especially in LA. Next up, this movie's been hovering around 5, 6. That's
Mm.
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, right?
Yeah.
This movie looks really fascinating. We haven't seen it yet, but
We want to check it out.
you want to check it out. And it's been on the theaters 11 weeks now.
Yeah, that's good.
When this is going to come, I don't think it's going to go to streaming anytime soon. It is A24 biggest opening film ever.
It's on the list though.
It is on our list to watch. Probably go to the movies. Who knows? It only dropped 17% and it made $2 million in this past weekend and made 60 million overall. So it's doing pretty good. Let the
Mm-hmm.
people know we're going in that top 5 category. Let two people know what movie is number 5.
Downtown Abbey.
Downtown Abbey for the old folks. Just kidding, folks. This movie is doing really well, or it's doing pretty good. Still holding in the top 5. A drop of 48%, making $3 million. In total, made $35 million in 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Not too shabby. Coming in at number 4. Actually dropping a spot from last week to number 4 from number 5 is
The Bad Guys.
Universal Animation is doing it big, making $3.3 million, a drop of 24%. In
Mm.
total, it made $87 million. I know Warner Media is, or Warner Discovery, whatever it's called now, they're definitely trying to up their animation game because they're looking
Mm-hmm.
at Universal, they're looking at Disney, they're looking at Sony, dropping these huge, animated film that's doing really well. And Warner has a lot of great IP. So they're looking at themselves like, why can't we do a Bad Guys? Why can't we do I don't know, a Shrek or whatnot? So, or
Yeah, they're coming up with good stories,
or
good
a Sing.
movies.
Yeah, so Universal need to get their stuff together, which I think they will in the next couple of years as far as animation, DC overall. Overall, they have good stuff, but they're kind of like all over the place. Like
Mm-hmm.
they're hit or miss. And I think their animation is better than Marvel,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of it is like more so like straight to video, more like home entertainment stuff. Nothing like
Mm.
theatrical. Next up, we have
Bob's Burgers, number 3.
the movie. Making $4.5 million at the box office, a dip of 63%. In 2 weeks, made $22 million. Not too shabby. I know this is the film you want to see, right?
Uh,
No,
kind of,
I thought you
kind
said you're a
of.
Bob Burgers fan.
Well, no, I'm saying that like I've seen the show. My siblings like the show. Like it's pretty good.
Hmm. All right. Moving on to number 2. Obviously, no surprise here. We have
Doctor Strange.
making $9.25 million at the box office, a dip of 42%. Not too shabby. In total, in 5 weeks, made $388 million. So it's doing really good at the box office. It's holding steady. It's close to that 1 billion mark worldwide. The only thing is, in the next couple of weeks, this movie will be at streaming services on Disney Plus. So if you have Disney Plus, you can stream it for free in the coming weeks. But would that matter? Because you look at The Lost City and Sonic 2, people are still going to see those movies.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how this holds up as the time progresses. Now, coming in at number 1, let the people know what it is.
Top Gun Maverick.
At no surprise, this movie made $86 million. People really love this film. A drop of only 32% from the previous weekend. In total, made $291 million in 2 weeks. The drop is the lowest drop of any movie to open to $100 million. So the drop is doing tremendous. So people typically when a movie makes this much money in its opening weekend, you're seeing more like a 50-60% drop. In this
Mm-hmm.
case, it was only 32%. It's ahead of the 40% from Star Wars: The Force Awakening and Shrek from 2004 too. So
Mm.
this movie, the holdover is really good. So people are not only watching the movie, it's sustaining its audience and growing it over. Not really growing it, but it's sustaining its audience. So the drop is not as dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, 38% of the audience is over 45, so you definitely hit that older crowd, nostalgia crowd.
Mm-hmm.
People were kids watching this movie. 35 to 34 was their best audience. Uh,
Me.
best, best attendance at 24%. What? So you're in that range, and followed by 45 to 54 at 20%.
Mm-hmm.
So this movie is really, really doing good. You look at the worldwide box office so far; it made 549 million globally, which is really, really good. So this movie is doing really good in 2 weeks. And going back to Doctor Strange, it crossed $900 million
Mm-hmm.
worldwide this past weekend. So these movies are killing it, man. I love the movie theaters. I love that they're doing really good. Hopefully, they don't have a popcorn shortage this summer, but overall, I'm glad to see the movies doing really well, and I hope to see more success with Top Gun and this is probably
Mhm.
going to be one of Tom Cruise's best movies
Mhm.
overall
Mhm.
ever. And if you love Maverick, I'm going to say Edge of Tomorrow is a better movie. What do you think?
Edge of Tomorrow? Which one's that one?
With Tom Cruise, where he dies over and over again?
Oh, I like that one a lot.
I like that one a lot. It's one of his
Also,
old.
I forgot the name of it, but yeah,
It's one of
it's
his
one of
old.
my favorite movies of him.
Yeah, it's one of his old underrated movies. I think the title probably sucks because obviously if you like it, you forgot about it. But if you love Top Gun, I highly recommend everybody see Edge of Tomorrow. Maybe we should do a Tom Cruise movie watch list.
Mhm.
But overall, that's our thoughts. Don't forget to like,
Like,
comment,
share,
share, comment,
comment, and subscribe.
and all that jazz. Until next time, peace.
Bye.